About the AFC South. So I think.
There's a history in this league.
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So finish this.
Subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
You have no idea what song
I
it is.
have no idea what song it is.
It's a hot song right now.
It's not too bad. It was a little breezy, clouds here and there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But still, like,
But you appreciate it. You
yeah,
didn't-
you find a place that you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on another episode of the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends, who happens to be right here. Say it. Say your word. Say your.
Unsolicited role models may not want, but you may just need.
We got two special guests with us today. We got Big Dave Mendoza, and we got
Mr. Yes, sir. Ray in the building.
boys. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Happy to have you guys on the show.
We're trying, bro. We're trying. We're out here.
Yeah. Especially since the show is transitioning to more current events. We don't gotta listen to, just Babylon.
Nice.
It's true. It's true. Dave knows what I'm talking about.
That's your boy.
He's the boy, but he babbles on. Let's be real. But enough about him. You came back from DR. How was that?
Yes, it was very hot. So great experience going over there. When you land, I don't know if you guys ever been to DR,
No.
but when you land in Punta Cana, you don't land through a tunnel. They put the stairs up to the airplane and you walk down the ramp.
He said you walk on the tarmac.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. All right, this is the landing spree.
So if this was your building, right?
Okay.
This is your tarmac right here. Planes come in, they land, and then all of a sudden they'll find a spot in the park. They'll put the tunnel up against it, and you'll walk down and walk through the tarmac into the building. So you're not
Okay.
directly onto the building, like
Yeah,
how
it's
it is
not
out
connected.
here.
Yeah.
Which I found, I was like, oh shit, like I'm gonna get to be on the tarmac right here. Like we get to
For
go
like a
down.
VIP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you get to Punta Cana,
I like how he has the accent when he says it.
Punta Cana is a very, very resort dedicated area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like you'll drive around town, and obviously it's Dominican Republic. It's not like over here. You got the roads are a little more messed up.
The
People are a
ocean's
lot
dirty.
more on scooters. Well, over here the ocean's horrible, but people are on scooters. It's freaking hot out there. Doubt a lot of people have ACs. If you do, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
But driving through the town, we got to the resort. Resort was beautiful. We stayed at Dreams Macau in Punta Cana. Beautiful steps. As soon as you get there, usually at a resort, the first thing they do, hand you a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Well,
You're here to stay.
It's all inclusive, right?
Yeah, it was all inclusive. So food, everything, drinks, whatever you want, you could have there. Now, I've been to a resort in Dominican Republic in Puerto Plata before. This resort was huge. Dreams Macau is more designated to weddings, family oriented and stuff like that. They even sent out, which was crazy, they sent out a message, I think, on their Instagram and stuff like that, and told spring breakers,
Mhm.
do not come to our resort. We don't want you here. So they're more
Makes
family
sense.
oriented. They're more for weddings. They're big on weddings, very big on weddings. The day that my wife's best friend, my friend had a wedding out there, they had, I think, 3 weddings that day.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
3 weddings.
Yeah.
And then there was more weddings the next day.
Not bad.
So we were out there, we're hanging out, went to the beach the one day. Now, if you don't know the UV index and how it's rated,
Mhm.
it's rated from 1 to 11 plus. So like 1 to 3 is your, it's good on you. You're least likely to get sunburn.
Yeah.
4 to 6 is like you're moderate. You might get sunburn.
But you got the tan.
6 to 10 is extreme. You're most likely gonna get it, and 11 is very, very.
Yeah, you
like,
getting
you're
burned.
burned.
Yeah.
So when I went to the beach, I'm hanging out there. Very humid. The air over there is very humid. It's very hot.
Surprised you kept the beard.
Bro, I'm hanging out on the beach. I must have been laid down
What's
on my
so
back
funny,
for 10,
right?
15 minutes.
Wait, Ray, what's so funny?
What's that?
What does
I'm
my
glad you
beard have
kept
to
the
do
beard.
with
Like
the
what?
heat?
No, because like when I go on my cruises and if my beard is like super long and I start to feel the heat, it has to come off.
Ah, okay.
See, but that's the crazy part. You
Like
would say that, right?
Every cruise I come back from, the beard is probably trimmed. Or
Yeah,
it's
you're
lost.
right.
You would say that, right? You would trim your beard. You going out with short sleeves. You going out with shorts and stuff like that because it's so hot, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the beach. I got my sunburn because I go up to Jonathan. He goes, "Yo, you know that the heat index hit a 10 today." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Now 15 minutes on my back, I was burned. My shoulders were red. They were hot. I couldn't take a shower because they had to take cold showers. The people out there, you want to know how they dress? Long sleeves, long pants.
See, but I'd be sweating.
To cover.
Yeah,
Hats.
yeah.
Because they want to cover from the sun.
I'd be sweating.
Yeah. For
That's
us
what
to
you
be
would
sweating.
think. Yeah.
But for them is I got to cover up because I
You're
know
trying to
that
get
the
burned.
heat index is I'm gonna get burned regardless.
Well, you're more by the equator.
Yeah, it's hot, bro. It's hotter. The sun out there, I'll tell everybody, the sun in Dominican Republic is different. It is totally different out there. The heat out there is different.
Mhm.
The humidity is different. Remember, it's an island surrounded by the ocean.
Yeah.
So when it
Oh,
gets
yeah.
hot, that humidity from the water and everything, bro, it is a different breed. But besides that, I mean, I had a great time. My favorite time of the day was going down to the breakfast buffet. I got
Booty.
yo
That's why.
omelets, Dominican salami, bacon.
That's why I do the cruises.
Yo, they had crepes. They were making crepes. They had fruits. Anything you could think of, they had everything.
We gotta get him on a cruise now.
Yeah.
He'd be in heaven.
They do have other restaurants. They have like Italian restaurant. They had an Asian restaurant. We went to the Italian restaurant. It's a resort at the end of the day. You got to feed the
vacation.
masses.
Yeah.
You're feeding 1,000 people a day, over 1,000 people a day. You don't
They're
expect
making
the
money.
food. Yeah, you don't expect the food to be great.
Yeah.
They're trying to push people in and out, to get how it is. Plus, it's an island where you got to import a lot of stuff too
Yeah.
that you
Mhm.
want. So it's harder it's more expensive to import a lot of stuff. But overall experience, bro, the pools, the people there, the atmosphere was amazing to me. Like I loved it. Would I go back? Yeah. Would I pick a different resort? Possibly, because there's so many resorts out there. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, maybe we could do that for like a bachelors. I almost said bachelorette.
A bachelor.
Yeah, bachelor party before I get married.
So when's that?
I gotta find the girl, but you're gonna be involved with it.
Doug is doing some personal soliciting right now. Ladies, if you want to,
if you're interested in Doug Saravo, reach out, leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
But yeah, no, it was great.
How was the wedding?
The wedding was great. Hot as hell. Because the way the wedding was set up, so the way that she did the wedding, the first part of us was on top of one of the restaurants. So we were on a rooftop.
Yeah.
So the day before we did the all-white party on a rooftop.
Yo, I saw those photos.
Yeah.
You guys look good.
I was trash out there.
Yeah, I know.
The day of the wedding.
I saw what you posted on your Instagram.
Yeah. The day of the wedding. Well, I'm on vacation. I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
The day of the wedding, we did the ceremony on a rooftop. And it was hot. We were up there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. It's not too bad. It was a little breezy, clouds here and there, covered the sun, but it's Dominican Republic at the end of the day. Once we were done with the ceremony, we went to one of the halls that they had us set up. And at that hall, they had the dance floor, so they had the mat in the middle. Off to the corner, they had the bar set up, so whatever drinks you wanted. The person that was doing the introduction of the wedding was actually a friend of the bride, so he came from here to go over there. Did a hell of a job. But like the service is so great at these resorts because, and it also you tip here and there. So once you start tipping here and there was times where I left my table and started talking to other people. The guy didn't see me there, but he put a drink. He knew what I was drinking. And it always felt like the drink was getting stronger and stronger every single time. Because you know, you want to tip these people. They're out there. It's hot. They're especially if you want a lot of the attention towards you, you're gonna tip more.
Yes, and you gotta be friendly with them.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on the cruises, the bar, I go to the same bar and they know me. Like they know when I'm in a drink. Like they give it to me. After I sing my song, they're like, "Look, you want another one?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, because you tip, right?
Yeah,
you leave a nice tip.
I leave because they in the drinking package you have the gratuity, and then I give an extra tip.
And then as well, you talk to them.
Yeah, you
have a conversation.
You build that connection with them.
Yeah, like there was one kid that I met there that I didn't even talk to him that much. So obviously I got a lot of anime tattoos on me. Those kids out there were big anime guys, right? So one of the guys comes up to me. He's like, "Oh," looking at my Luffy and Kid Buu tattoo, and he's like, "Oh, Luffy, boo, boo." Then another kid comes over and he's got like Naruto tattoos on him. Well, our last day in there, one of the kids. So if you don't ever know, if you ever go to a resort, you'll notice that there's staff there, right? And you'll see them dressed. But there's also people that work there that are not in staff uniform. So like they'll have shorts on and they'll have like the color is the blue shorts and they'll have like a bandana, but they're mingling with people. Yeah. So those are their entertainers. So one of those kids came up to me at the end of the trip and goes, "Oh, let me get your Instagram. Let me get your Instagram." And I gave him my Instagram. I get back and he texts me, "Oh, how was the flight? How was this? How was that?" Now, obviously,
how come I don't have that luck with girls?
It's a double-edged sword, kind of. If you look at it, there's a reason why they do this. So it's not only just to get their followers up. It's a great thing. I don't care. You follow me, you follow me. It's fine.
Exactly.
But it's also, hey, do me a favor. You're gonna get an email. Leave us, leave my name, review this and that.
Yep.
So not that they're not only following you just because they had a great interaction with you, they're also following you on the business side. Hey, follow them, like leave me a review. Because if I get a great review, maybe they get bonuses, maybe they get other
they
stuff.
do that for the cruises. They send out a survey out that you have to fill out.
Yeah.
So they do that. I got one of the guys' Instagram, cool young kid, Do I plan on talking to this kid every day? No. Like if he DM me something, ask me a question or something, I'll write back to him. Am I gonna talk to him every day? No.
Exactly.
But you get to meet. It's crazy because you get to meet these people and you get to interact with them and you get to meet new people. And not being there anymore, I can see what events they're still doing there. So maybe they'll put a new event and I'll be like, "Oh man, they're doing this now. Maybe I want to go back there now."
Exactly.
So it's a lot of interaction.
That's like with me. I stay in touch with a few people I met on the cruise, like the workers, like the bartenders I keep in touch with. Yeah. The band I kept in touch with, and they went on the same ship that I just went on.
Because you may have not. So you may have went on a cruise last year, right? And you don't have your cruise planned out this year, or maybe you want to. Maybe you want to do it on a different cruise line, right? But then all of a sudden, that person that you're following says, "Oh, look what we got on the cruise ship now. We have karaoke booths that you can record yourself now, right?" You'd be like, "Oh, look, this is the person I follow. Yeah. They got karaoke booths now. I could go in there and make a whole video."
Yeah.
Because how like some places they'll have like those booths where you could dance,
sing,
and they'll record you.
I'd be in heaven.
Well, maybe they'll have that. And now from that person that you met and follow, and they have that, and you'll be like, "Oh, I got to make this trip now. Forget the other trips. I know what trip I want to do now." And check that out.
Exactly.
So it's great interaction. The food was good out there. The buffet was my favorite. I think buffet anywhere is great.
Yeah, buffets are good.
It gives you the option.
Yeah, you don't, and you could make your limit. You don't have to be like, "All right, I'm getting a whole full plate of steak. Exactly. What if I want some fish with it, or what if I want some potatoes with it?" You never know.
It's just so much, and the staff was great. We had our own butler. We were preferred, which I guess is their VIP. So it came with a butler. He gave me his WhatsApp, and he's like, "Yo, just text me if you need anything. Let me know, and I'm here for you whenever." Because most of those people out there must be nice shaking my hand. Most of those people out there, they stay at those resorts or stay by the resorts for like a week straight, and they're there from that time on. and then after that they'll leave.
Yeah, I think that's like Coco Cay. A lot of people live there that work for either come off the ship or they live at the island.
Yeah. So yeah, and then they'll go home to their back to their families and whatever for like a week or two if they want, and then the next week, or maybe they'll have a month. Maybe they'll be there for a month and then they'll have a month off. I don't know the schedule, but that's how usually it is. Is that they'll be there for extended period of time, and they're assigned to you. So like one night I needed blankets. I texted them. I was like, hey, I need blankets. It was late at night. Yeah, obviously.
We were ready to go to bed. That's good that they were able to take care of you.
I texted him, waited 10, 15 minutes. He didn't text me back right away. So I was like, you know what? Let me just call room service. I got the phone right here. So I called them, asked for blankets. As soon as I hung up the phone, I look at my phone. He goes, I took care of it for you. I was like, I just called them too. He's like, don't worry about it. They're going to send it up. They already know it's for your room.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes later.
Nice. I like that service.
Shaking hands, bro.
I like that service.
Why do you like shaking hands so much?
I don't know. It feels like that, I don't know.
He got a
camaraderie.
You see him
like
spinning the table before. He got to be doing something with his hands.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by
Unsolicited Role Models. You want to touch my chest? You saw that?
I wanted to point to the shirt, but I was like, let me back up.
Unsolicited Role Models may not want, but you may just need.
All right, before we wrap up, Ray, you ever been to a inclusive island?
Oh, yeah. I went to Jamaica. We had spoken about that before on his channel before. And it's the same thing. Like, if you ever go anywhere, I'll tell you, I did one cruise one time and I didn't do the all-inclusive. So it's like you paying for every little thing out of pocket. It's retarded.
Yeah.
But when we went to Jamaica, it was all-inclusive. So it's definitely a more appreciated atmosphere when it's all-inclusive. Because like he said, I love jerk chicken. Anybody watching, you can make some jerk chicken. You want to make some jerk chicken? I won't mind eating it on the show. So they had like a jerk chicken hut. So whenever I wanted to, I could just go get some jerk chicken. I didn't even have to stick to whatever they were serving.
Yeah.
And I could just give me some jerk chicken, give me some. And it was like, they was like, what you gonna eat? I was like, come on, man. Because for me, if I ever make a resort, please don't be offended if we don't have every type of food. Whatever island I'm on, that's where we're gonna specify the food. So if you come to my island and it's Ray Ray Island and Ray Ray's American and it's nothing but American food there, don't get offended. You know what I mean? Because I'll be like, yo, how dare you have an Italian restaurant on a Caribbean island? What? I didn't come to
that's
eat
how
that.
Dominican Republic was. They had like 3 different
I could eat that any day of the week.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do want to give this one advice though. If you ever go to like a resort, an all-inclusive resort or wherever, a vacation or wedding, save the complaints for the staff.
Oh my gosh.
Don't save it for the people you're with. Because at the end of the day, you can complain to them, but those complaints should be directed to the staff because they're the ones that can fix the problems.
Yeah. But first of all, if you're on vacation and you're going to complain,
no. I mean, there's different stuff. Like
there's one of the
guys
you're on vacation
in the rooms next to us. He just so happened to be going to bed at night, and taking off the sheets and everything. Notice there was blood on the sheets.
All right, but that's different.
Now I said this. I said maybe housekeeping came in, didn't realize it, cut their finger. I don't know.
That's different.
But
if you're gonna complain, the food sucks. Why is it this way? Why is it that way?
Is never. Why are you gonna complain about the food? Because you
don't got to cook.
Resort. Second of all,
you don't got to cook.
Exactly. You don't have to cook. And third, don't expect it to be at your high whatever standards you got because they have to cater to the masses at the end of the day. So it may be bland at some point.
If it is, who cares?
More seasoned at some point.
Who
it's
cares?
Gonna be it's catered to a lot of people.
Yeah, you're on vacation. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Hey, I we went to the Italian restaurant and the food wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But you know what? I tried it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Well, I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but it wasn't to what I I wanted. So would I go back to that restaurant? No, I'm gonna try a different restaurant.
You try else.
I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And once I find a place that I like, I might spend more time there than the other places. Doesn't mean I won't stop trying, the other areas, the other foods and stuff like that. But still, like,
but you appreciate it.
You find a place that you like, that you're not gonna have a problem, and then you just go to that place.
Yeah.
Like once we found that the breakfast buffet was amazing, we just kept going to breakfast buffet.
Exactly. Yep.
Were there other restaurants? Yeah, we could have went to other restaurants. But you know what? We said we were with the kids. You know, they like it too. Instead of us fussing and fighting, going to somewhere else that they're not gonna like. And you also got to remember, when you're at resorts, there's a time span. So like from 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock is your breakfast. Or 8 to 10 is your breakfast.
They got the time span.
From
like
11 till 1, they're not serving anything. Maybe you got to go to the grill area.
Yeah.
And then lunch will be like 1 to 3.
4, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 is your lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then you won't get nothing until 6 o'clock. Until like
dinner
10.
could be like 6 to 9.
Yeah. So you got to figure it out. So like there, you got to mentally, okay, hold on. I know I like this place. I'm not going to make it in time for this place. And if I don't like it, am I gonna leave there to go somewhere else? Am I gonna have enough time? So you know what? I'm just gonna go to.
You gotta plan it and
you gotta
make sure things are working out.
You know, it's just like the U.S. You go to a restaurant. I may go to an Italian restaurant and say, or a Chinese restaurant, and be like, oh, well, this isn't the Chinese food I like, or the Italian food that I like. But there's another restaurant that I know that's real good.
Have many options. Like if you want Italian food, don't go to Olive Garden because that's not real Italian food.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, we got Ray, we got Big Dave, and as always, we got Dougie S. See everybody next time. Wednesday night, you'll hear about my trip to Colorado. See everybody then.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over. I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that.
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So,
Talk whatever we want.
It's sports. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
But to go and like react from a fiscal standpoint and from a civil rights standpoint to close everything, I find it hard to get behind.
Democrats. Thanks to Democrats. Thanks to the Democrats, by the way.
Nancy Pelosi should not be 84 years old and still be sitting as the House Speaker.
like an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
actually, like can get in there and like do things, like Donald Trump Jr. Like
Puerto Rican. You're Latino.
I'm an American.
I would like Ivanka to run.
Yeah, Yvonne or Tulsi Gabbard. She's
So when Shane came back,
That's the table. Look at it.
all right, let's get back to the conversation.